The authorities of the St. Gregory Hospital at Kaswa in the Central Region are denying claims that a 9-week-old baby boy died at the facility because his parents could not afford a fee of some 533 Ghana cedis. The boy's parents had earlier told JoyNews a medical doctor on duty that night cut supply of oxygen to the baby because they could not pay to keep their baby alive. And officials of the Catholic Health Services have since visited the facility as part of efforts to get to the bottom of the subject. Central Regional Correspondent Rachel Kujonyako now reports.
So this morning, the Ghana Health Service sent a team to the Kaswa Budumburam Hospital, the St. Gregory Hospital, to ascertain the facts for themselves. Their primary duty was to find out what really happened, who was responsible for what, who were on duty that particular day. And so as soon as they went there, they went into a closed-door session with the top management of the hospital. Thereafter, they went to take the statement from the staff who were at work that particular day. They are sending what they have found on the ground to the Regional Directorate of the Ghana Health Service, because this investigation was really initiated by the Director General of the Ghana Health Service for them to really get an understanding as to what went wrong. That is what culminated in the death of the 9-week-old baby at the St. Gregory Hospital. And there are speculations out there that for 533 Ghana cedis, the child had to die, and there is an allegation out there that a doctor had to take off the oxygen mask from the child, and then eventually the child died. We've been gleaning from the ground, and what I have picked from the ground is that the child had been transferred to a bigger facility at Kolebu. The one in charge of the Diocese of Cape Coast, Director of the Catholic Health Services here, to tell us really what is also heard and what the Catholic Health Services is doing about this particular matter.
So what I want to tell you is, as a Catholic health institution and as a Catholic church in general, we are pro-life. So anything in connection with life, we attach much importance to it. And for life, for somebody to exterminate life is something we don't countenance, except of course if it is for life-saving. If it is not for life-saving, we don't countenance that. So the moment we had the issue, we've constituted a higher-powered panel to go into the case and find out and bring us a report on it, so that based on the report, we can see the way forward.
But since the matter broke, have you spoken to any of the authorities, like the doctor, like the administrator? What thing did they tell you?
Oh yes, I spoke to the administrator and I've spoken to the doctor as well, yes, on the issue. And based on their reports, and that is why we've constituted that panel to go into the case. Yes, to go into the case.
What, did they tell you maybe what led to the death of the child or anything?
No, we asked them to bring some reports on the whole issue. So based on the report, we've constituted the panel to go into it. So exactly what happened, that we base on the report that the investigators will bring. So based on the report that the investigators will bring is when we will know exactly what happened.
Tell me the preliminary things, maybe orally, what they've been telling you.
Okay, when I contacted them, what they told me was that the child had been referred, but then they were still in the hospital waiting for the relatives to come. Yes.
But as to whether the oxygen was taken off the child or otherwise, you are unable to tell?
No, that one I cannot tell because I wasn't there. Yes, I wasn't there at that time. But all that they told me was that the child had then been referred, but then they were still in the hospital waiting for relatives to come. The Catholic Health Service, as I said, in fact, seriously, we are pro-life. And anything dealing with life, our concern is the life must be protected. The life must be protected to the extent that even when you go to a Catholic health institution, and people will bear me out, we have a lot of clients who come, but then if for one reason or the other they are not able to pay their bill, and we investigate and we genuinely see that they are poor people. In fact, we've been giving a lot of these bills out on charity basis. This is what we do. So we know, as part of our charism, we know that we are in an environment where generally the people are poor.
So surprising that this would happen.
If it is really the case, that would be a surprise to me, because generally our hospitals, we don't do that.
The trial of former Kokobo Chief Executive Dr. Stephen Opuni will be on hold for at least 2 more weeks following a disagreement over which documents the Attorney General should make available to his defense lawyers. While Dr. Opuni's lawyers had argued that the law allows access to all documents in the custody of Kokobo and the Public Procurement Authority, the Deputy Attorney General, Godfred Yeboah-Dame, disagreed. Trial Judge Justice C.J. Hunyenuga suspended the trial, awaiting the ruling from the Supreme Court on the same matter, referred to it for interpretation. There's more in the following report.
2 weeks ago, when Dr. Stephen Opuni and Seydou Agongo were arraigned, a number of sympathizers thronged the law court complex to show solidarity. This included NDC executives and former government appointees. The situation was different on Wednesday as Dr. Opuni was accompanied by his relatives with only few friends coming along. After the court had opted to put the matter on hold, spokesperson for Dr. Opuni's legal team, Victor Daudu, fought off suggestions their request for documents was aimed at delaying the court.
Civil case where you are not supposed to be put in prison or in jail, like a matter between you on your land matter or anything, defamation, the court will even ask you that exchange documents. If it is a matter of murder or anything, the court will say what they are going to say against me, let's exchange the law. So he says that even that one, when you are free, you can walk home. You will only be giving judgment against you to pay. This one is about your liberty, that they will put you in jail, they will deny you access to other things. That's the law saying. If that one you are saying, then we can hide the document. When I come, I show it to you. Just like you blindfold me and ask me, which document is this? That is how he made the submission that give us that document. So it is not, it's about the liberty. He has
any attempt to halt the trial needlessly?
No, he has a right to be given fair trial. The Constitution says, give me a fair trial. Even if you think that I am guilty, give me all the documents, everything, or the trial. Give me the time to prepare my defense, and I have to raise reasonable doubt in the mind of the court. Don't forget that there's about 27 charges, and Opuni is being made to see that he's such a bad person that nobody. So you could see what has always been in the public domain. Every time about Cocoa Board and his tenure, you could see it. And you will not also be surprised that as at yesterday we had filed for a defamation, because it is just being done to shape the sentiment of the public against him that this is a bad man.
Hearing of the case continues on April 30.
And so let's get some education here. Let's just apprise you of the arguments so far advanced by the lawyers in court. The lawyers for Dr. Opuni, led by Samuel Kujo, said access to documents will enable them defend their clients. They also relied on Article 19.2e and G of the 1992 Constitution. Article 19.2 reading, a person charged with a criminal offense shall be given adequate time and facilities for the preparation of his defense. It continued, G said be afforded facilities to examine in person or by his lawyer the witnesses called by the prosecution before the court, and to obtain the attendance and carry out the examination of witnesses to testify on the same conditions as those applicable to witnesses called by the prosecution. Samuel Kujo told the court, and he's been quoted here, how can we defend ourselves without those documents? And Deputy Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Dame opposed the application. He described the request as utterly unfounded and hinged on irrelevant consideration. He continued that the rules of court summary trial did not require prosecutors to make all documents, including those they don't intend available. And the trial be put on hold. He continued pending the determination of a similar matter before the Supreme Court for interpretation, also by the judge in the case. So we'll be educating ourselves more as we go on many other issues. But let's move on. The Ghana National Household Registration Exercise has ended in the Upper East region with almost 150,000 households captured. At a ceremony held in Bolgatanga to mark the end of the exercise, the Minister for Gender, Otiku Afisajaba, was satisfied with the success of the program and hoped it would ultimately help enhance transparency when selecting beneficiaries for social intervention programs like the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty. The Upper East Regional Correspondent Albert Sorry is now reporting.
Total of 144,664 households in the Upper East region have been captured by the Ghana National Household Registry in a 38-day registration exercise. The Ghana National Household Registry is an establishment under the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. It aims to streamline and make more efficient the targeting systems in Ghana in the identification of potential beneficiaries for social protection interventions. Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Otiku Afisajaba, was confident that the success of the exercise in the Upper East region will enhance transparency and accountability in the selection of beneficiaries for social protection interventions. Upper East Regional Minister Roxin Bukari said the exercise is an important tool for national development and called for a mop-up registration exercise to ensure that all households in the Upper East region are captured.
And still in the area, some persons with disabilities at Bolga in the Upper East region, they have been given training in business management. The training was part of efforts by the Department of Social Welfare and the Municipal Assembly to empower physically challenged persons in the Bolga municipality. Albert Sorry again has more.
The two-day training program was organized by the Department of Social Welfare in collaboration with the Business Advisory Center of the Bolgatanga Municipal Assembly. It was aimed at empowering physically challenged persons to venture into their own businesses using capital they receive from their 2% allocation of the District Assembly's Common Fund. Bolgatanga Municipal Chief Executive Joseph Amiyure encouraged the beneficiaries to apply the knowledge they acquired during the training in their various businesses so that they could remain self-reliant. He also assured them that the Municipal Assembly will always ensure that the 2% allocation of the Common Fund meant for persons with disabilities is disbursed appropriately.
Money that should have been paid, that could have been used for their livelihood support activities, that have now been paid and is currently with the Assembly. And we are hoping that when the social welfare, the committee that is in place, that is supposed to screen them and make it possible for them to identify who qualifies for that kind of facility or the fund.
Head of Department at the Bolgatanga Municipal Social Welfare and Community Development, Mercy Poivra, who is also the Secretary to the Disability Fund Management Committee of the Municipal Assembly, said the department will continue to monitor to ensure that beneficiaries use funds disbursed to them for the intended purposes.
As time goes on, if the number increases and the secretariat doesn't take into account the number of persons in the municipality, you will see that the funds will be exhausted, and when more people come and the funds are exhausted, it will be difficult to get funds for them, and therefore the applications will have to be sitting down till the funds are channeled into the account before the committee will continue to do its work.
Chairperson for the Ghana Federation of the Disabled in the Bolgatanga municipality, Josephine Kumkuguri, was confident that the business management training will go a long way to help alleviate poverty amongst physically challenged persons.
We don't want anybody to go to the streets and beg for alms. So the voices that the government heard from us and then made this money available for us to support our colleagues. We want them to make use of it so that they will be into business and then be able to live a decent life.
A total of 80 physically challenged persons took part in the training. For Joy News, Albert Sorry, reporting from Bolgatanga.
And in the Upper West region, members of the St.Monica Widows Association, they are calling for the total extinction of customs that denigrate the dignity and rights of women, especially widows. According to the group, these rituals only tend to increase pain after losing their husbands. Organizer of the group, Sister Gabriela Nwona, made the call when the supervising High Court Judge, Justice Kwesi Boache, donated to the association at Dafiama. Here is Rafiq Salam with the rest of the story.
According to the organizer of the St.Monica Widows Association, the formation of the association has tremendously reduced the pain the widows go through after the loss of their husbands. Sister Gabriela Nwona said these widows were branded witches and blamed for the death of their husbands.
Most of them are happy. They said that they are lost, but they don't know the Catholic Church have loved them. Now they know that they have somebody to help them, to encourage them, to give them peace of mind, peace of love, unity, understanding, and then pray to God.
She wishes that outmoded customs like widowhood rites that infringe on the dignity of women are abolished.
If a woman is Christian and the husband dies, we don't want them to put the person clear. They have to pray to the person with a cross, a big cross, to have a cross that shows that I don't have clay, I don't have anything. But those who get clay, we have to watch this and we don't accept them because you don't listen to us. This clay is nothing that they are making to the Satan way. They are putting you to the Satan way.
Supervising High Court Judge and a UK-based sister, Beverly Odderson, and daughter Ila, for the past 3 years, have been of immense help to the association.
It was not easy for me. So as you saw in the picture, I wept. So I don't know whether I'm the second Jesus. I wept. Upon seeing them the first time, it was not easy. It was not easy for me. But now I've been able to control the temper. So when I come here, I feel more relaxed and I'm really happy to be.
Justice Boache narrated what motivated him to support the group.
The first time I sent items to the bishop, I didn't join him here. Now what is encouraging me and what keeps encouraging me to do this is this letter. The first time the bishop presented the items, the women wrote this letter to me. And the contents of the letter are very touching. And that is why I have even kept it this way. It is always reminding me. Anytime I look at it, it reminds me that I have a duty to accomplish. You know, in Matthew chapter 5, you have a duty to perform to those who are mourning and those who are suffering from hunger. We have to help them. That is my assignment in the Bible. And that is why I keep doing this.
He donated to the St.Monica Widows Association used clothes, used shoes, handbags, 3 bags of rice to the Bishop of the White Diocese, Richard Kunyeba Wob.
I know alone in your families it is not always easy, but when you are able to come together, you support each other, and you know that what you are suffering, another person is suffering, and the suffering that is shared is already halved. So that is good. So I really thank you that you are over and over, you are offering them that support so that they can come together.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, Dafiema.
Well, so that'll be it for the news, but I want to say good morning to you, Sangre. You're watching me this morning, and you work with Unique Insurance. You're based in Ashaiman. You head the branch there. Good morning to you. Also to you, pharmacist Salifu Combat. You're with the Boku Presbyterian Hospital. I hope I'm right. And Dr. Sana, you're with the Sana group of companies around the Gonja areas and doing great work across the northern parts of the country. I say good morning to you as well. And I hope that you're enjoying your time. But